Distilled shenanigans. Distilled shenanigans. Let's get to it. Short and sweet today. This one's also going to be short and sweet because we have already tasted Maker's Mark, but I would feel really out of sorts if I did not put it in the Gateway Bourbon Series just because we did it in the tasting. So we are going to go do this again. Maker's Mark is a 90 proof wheated bourbon. So this was another good one to start with because it has such a smooth, sweet finish with that wheat. Living downtown, it's the best. So Bill Samuel Sr. bought Maker's Mark Distillery back in 1953. He created his first recipe and put it in a barrel in 1954, and Maker's Mark was put on the shelf 4 years later in 1958. So a little bit longer than the Evan Williams that was just Bottle and Bond that was just started in 2012, so a little more history here. But Bill Samuel Sr. wanted a whiskey that he would enjoy drinking. So instead of the traditional rye in that mash bill, he swapped that out for wheat. So the mash bill for this particular bourbon is 70% corn, 16% soft red winter wheat, and 14% malted barley. So no rye in there. Today, so that first set of Maker's Mark was aged 4 years in that barrel. And today, the distillery ages Maker's Mark to taste. So, they're trying to make Maker's Mark the same every year from year to year. So you know what you're getting in that bottle. So they age it somewhere between 6 and 7 years, just depending on when that flavor profile is where the master distiller wants it. I always can smell that cherry flavor in here. Like that's a bright fruit. I liken it to cherries. You can smell vanilla. You can smell the sweet. It's not quite as sweet as what the Evan Williams was to me. Like Evan Williams is candy. This one, it's just like vanilla. This one just smells tasty. Is that a smell? Smelling tasty? So how does it taste? So we're going to throw her back. Okay, that has a nice smooth finish. So it's, oh boy. Okay, so how does it taste? I probably need to acclimate my mouth before I do these things because every time I taste one, I'm like, oh, that's terrible. Okay, well now we got it. Anyway, I digress. So how does this one taste? It tastes sweet. You can taste the vanilla and a little bit of the fruit in there. Not anything overpowering. Even though it's lower proof from the Evan Williams bottle, this one has a nice smooth finish through the back, but it still hugs you a little bit on the way down. And it's a late bloomer. So just when you think, oh, it's going to be kind of thin like the Evan Williams, it kind of cuddles right on up to you as it heads down the esophagus there. So with the Maker's Mark, like we said, it's a wheated bourbon, and wheated bourbons tend to be just a little bit sweeter and a little bit smoother than some of its other whiskey counterparts. So I would even liken to this finish to maybe creamy. I mean, I'll put it on there. I'm pretty sure that if you go to the Maker's Mark website, it will say smooth and creamy. But what does that mean? I definitely think it is smooth, maybe velvety, on the way down with a little bit of a hint of a hug. More times than not, they're going to have Maker's Mark behind the bar. So if you're ready to up the ante a little bit from Evan Williams and go into that Maker's Mark, it will be there for you to try. Also love making Manhattan with Maker's Mark. Pretty good too. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. And remember, you only get one shot. make it top shelf.